good morning to everybody. Thank you for being here today. This is a good day in what has been a challenging 50-some days for our community. This is an opportunity when we get to say thank you to some of the people that were so very, very helpful to us during the course of this investigation. You heard me the other day. It was a dark chapter in Tampa's history, but that darkness has been removed because of the hard work of the men and women of the Tampa Police Department, all of our partners in law enforcement that have stood with us for 50-plus days. It never mattered what color the uniform was. All that mattered was that we were going to catch a killer. It also is a testimony to the goodness of this community and the goodness of our business community and other citizens that stepped up and said, I may not know any of the victims, I may not live in that neighborhood, but we are all Tampanians, and we are going to protect each other, and we are going to look out for each other, and in times of need, and clearly this was a community that was in need, that we were going to stand together, and in the case of this particular situation, they were going to put their resources to the task of catching a killer. And many of the folks, and Chief Dugan, who will come up behind me, is going to introduce, are standing here behind me. They are the ones that put the reward together that we are going to make an announcement about today. We have some of the family members that are here with us today as well. This is a difficult time for them, but I think knowing that there is some closure to a very, very tragic chapter in their life brings them some solace, although it can never replace their family members that were ripped from them by this individual. Tampa Police and law enforcement in this community did their job, just like we always do. In times of difficulty, we stand together and we execute. And that is exactly what happened today. Chief Dugan will be making an announcement, and then I will be reading a statement from Ms. Walker. And I would hope, and I will remind you of this at the end of this, this is a woman who is not accustomed to you. As much as I love you and cherish our relationship for some 30 years, this is a woman who is not accustomed to you. I would ask you, please, to respect her privacy. She is a private citizen who stood up and did the right thing. So please, moving forward, be respectful of that. And just know that in her words that you will hear me read today, the gratitude that she has for the opportunity to do the right thing. Chief Dugan.
Thank you, Mayor. If I could just put some things to rest and explain, let's talk about the reward money. It's been a controversial topic for some people. It was never for us. But our law enforcement partners stepped up with some reward money, and then some members of the community stepped up. And they did all this unasked. Some of them did it on their own. Some of them reached out to me directly, and other people did fundraisers. So let me go down listing everyone. You know, Crime Stoppers has put forward their money. You know, let me be clear, she will receive all $110,000. That was the reward that was put up. She will receive every penny of that. But you also have to understand it came from multiple different people, different places, and it takes time to get the checks to her and the money to her. She will eventually get all of the money. So we have Crime Stoppers that will participate, FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now there were some community groups. We had the Southeast Seminole Heights, Old Seminole Civic Association, the Brew Bus did a fundraiser, and this was done through Rise Tampa, our police foundation, and Rise Tampa also donated some money. Richard Gonsmart of the Columbia Restaurant Group. Richard Gonsmart texted me directly. David Straz gave in some money. We also had some other groups who gave us cash donations for us to buy equipment during this time. We have the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce. I have J.C. Dominguez, who's with Tropical Surveillance and Investigations. And then we had some other partners who were able to give some in-kind space for us. We had the Out Front Media Group, the Metro Systems, which is the bus benches, the Florida Sentinel, and Clear Channel. I can tell you, people did this without asking. It says a tremendous amount of things about the Bay Area, from law enforcement agencies to the community groups, that really united together and stood behind the police department. And for that is something that I'll be eternally grateful.
You know, if you think about it, we've been operating at this operational tempo since the week before Hurricane Irma. And so for this community, it's been a challenging couple months, but I think what you saw at the end of this process was a community that was resilient, that was solid, that took care of each other, that executed in very, very difficult times with no drama. Everyone knew their job, everyone did their job. And that is especially true in this situation. And so I, on behalf of the city, can't say enough to say thank you to all of the people that are here behind me. And there are some, like Sheriff Chronister and others, that are not here, but we are appreciative of what they do. Now, cities are made up of individuals. Cities are made up of citizens. I do what I do because I'm hired to do it. These folks do what they do because that is their job. But when everyday citizens stand up and do the right thing in the face of terror, sheer terror, and do it not asking to be thanked, not expecting a reward, not wanting any acknowledgement, but they do it because they know it's the right thing to do. And that is exactly what happened in this situation. We would not be here today with this killer in custody were it not for the courage of one individual who just happened to be working at a local McDonald's. And when faced with that choice that all of us will be faced with at some point in our life, the choice to do something out of the ordinary, that choice to choose between courage and a lesser path, that choice between saying something or saying nothing and hoping the problem goes away, this woman made the right choice. And today, we are a safer community because Ms. Walker did the right thing. She doesn't want any attention. If there was no reward, she would have made the same decision. She is what's right about this city and the people who live here. So she asked me to provide a statement to all of you. And she asked that we please respect her privacy, given what she has just gone through. Delonda Walker's statement reads, "I went to work on Tuesday intending to serve customers and to do my job. The day turned out very differently. When confronted with this situation, I wanted to do the right thing, and I reached out to a nearby police officer. Receiving a reward never entered my mind. Looking back, I am grateful to know I was helpful in assisting law enforcement. I hope you can understand that out of respect for the continuing investigations, as well as the victims and their families, I will not be answering questions. I am her voice. But please know that I appreciate all the well wishes and the kind words of our community. Her actions spoke volumes. We don't need her voice. We are the beneficiaries of her action." Delonda Walker made us proud that day. Please respect her privacy. We'll be available for questions after this, and obviously the chief cannot get into the aspects of the investigation, but we will be available if you have stuff for us, and we'll stick around as well. Thank you for all that you all did during the course of this. We could not have solved this without your help. We appreciate all the attention that you gave to this situation and the dignitary and the respect with which you treated the victims' families. This is a tough chapter for us, but better days are ahead.